Hey, welcome back to Girl Chat Sports, West Coast Wednesdays. We are here. We're back, Mo and me, Mel. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat already. Or if you're watching or just checking us out, feel free to share with some friends out there. We got a special guest on today, so we're definitely going to get to a bunch of sports in the second half. But first, we want to bring on our special guest. So if you can, welcome to the show, Miss Blair O'Neal.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hi.
Thank
you. Appreciate you. So we've been reading up on you, and we've seen I've seen some of the episodes of your shows that you have on Golf Channel, but I kind of wanted for you just to kind of give an intro to some of the viewers out there, kind of like a brief rundown as to your start in golf and kind of what you've been up to.
Yeah.
From the beginning?
Maybe like
what got you into the love of golf? Let's kick it off with that.
there.
What got you into the love of the whole situation?
Yeah, I started playing golf when I was 11, which was actually like really late. Before that, I did dance, all different types of dance. And my dad, he loved golf. He grew up with 5 brothers, and they all played golf. And he put me in a junior golf clinic, and I just loved it. And when I hit the ball really good, I hit the ball far, and that interested me from the beginning. It was fun just to hit the ball long. And so after the clinic was over, after a few weeks or whatever it was, my parents said, you either keep taking your dance lessons or you take golf lessons. So I stopped taking dance class and started taking golf lessons. And then caught up really quickly because it's what I did every day. I mean, I'd go practice before school. I'd go to lessons before school. I'd go after school. Like I was in it, just lived golf, and ended up getting a scholarship to play golf at Arizona State, which was one of the top. They had just won 3 national championships and got recruited to play there. Played there for 4 years, played in every event that we had, graduated, turned professional, and played about 10 years on different tours. And kind of fast forwarding, now I work for Golf Channel, and I host a show called School of Golf. It's an instructional show that airs every Monday night on Golf Channel. And we help people with their golf swings. And then I also play in celebrity golf tournaments and have a lot of events and outings with my sponsors and different things like that. So yeah, it keeps me busy.
Yeah, it sounds like
it. Version.
What made you give up the dance?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. What made you give up the dancing? As opposed to choosing golf instead.
Well,
it's most women that get into dance and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So this is what it was.
Okay.
So my neighbor friend, like I said, I was 11. So like we, lived in this cul-de-sac, and there was a neighbor who was like my same age. And I told her, my parents and I either have to stop taking dance classes or take golf lessons. And she was like, oh, well, your dance classes are all the time. And like, we don't get to play. So you should do the golf lessons, because then we'd have more time to play. And that completely backfired, because golf is like I said, I live, eat, sleep, everything.
Right.
Golf, so that plan absolutely backfired. But I do remember her saying that and being like, oh, okay. And then I did love golf too. There was something about it that intrigued me from the beginning, which I think is kind of a special thing, because I think to be that ingrained into wanting to improve and to spend that much time at that age, when I look back, I'm like, that was kind of crazy, how much time I loved to put into the sport.
Yeah.
So it all worked out, though. I'm really glad I stopped taking those dance classes. I'd be a cheerleader somewhere or something. So
Right.
Not that that's bad, but
Right, I get it.
You have a whole other story, story out there.
Yeah. I get it. Because it was just a different choice, everybody's path. Like I did dance,
for sure.
and, and then just to say golf at 11, it's just a very odd thing to hear, especially female golfer at that.
I think the same thing. Looking back, I'm like, that's crazy. Like my uncle tells me too, when you were 11, 12, I'd ask you what you want to be when you grow up, and you would just say a professional golfer, no questions asked. You just knew that's what you wanted to do. So
that's
I had it in my mind.
That's great.
That is.
So with being in golf and starting at a young age, and I know it's gotten better over the years, but starting out and especially becoming professional, I'm sure collegiate was a little bit different, but how is it with dealing kind of with a sport that's kind of always been deemed as like, a man's sport? This is what men go do when they're on the weekends and go, so
And when they
how did that
retire and business and all of that. Like the business deals are done on the golf course. It's all
right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that is like the stigma that golf has around it. And then it is true. I mean, when I grew up playing, it was this young girl who was out there at the golf course, and I'd go to the first tee, wanted to play with whoever was coming up, and they're like, oh, great, this young girl, and then I'd go out there and they'd realize I could play and I would beat most of them, you know? So I feel like I grew up around middle-aged older men. Like, I did. But the game has changed a lot over the years, and it continues to grow more into like the women's scene and getting kids involved and all of that. And I think that people who are involved in the game of golf have done a good job to help the game grow. So it's come a long ways, but I mean, there's definitely still golf courses in certain areas that you go to that that are just very male dominated.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And that's just part of the history of it, but I think it's continuing to grow and change like a lot of things are these days.
Is there any stories you have where you have proven a male counterpart wrong when they doubted your skills?
I think kind of going back to when I would be out on the course when I was young and I would go join up a group. My high school coach, she's a good friend of mine now, and we'll always tell stories how we'd be at our high school practices, and she'd be out with me in the cart and we'd go up to go play, and she'd would say, oh, she didn't tell me at the time, I was oblivious to it, but she was like, they would not be happy that you were coming to play or to join their foursome, because they're like, oh, this young girl, like she's gonna slow us down or whatever. She's like, and you would just kick their butts, like that changed after the first hole, but she's like, I would just love to see it.
Love proving the doubters wrong, always.
Yeah.
Got to.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So so I know we talked about that's kind of changing, the dynamic of golf is changing, more women are getting involved. I know I have friends that will go. I know me personally, I have upgraded from mini golf to top golf, so I'm now at a top golf level. So I can, use a driver, but that's pretty much about it at this point. But I know that women are kind of getting on the bandwagon and going to golf, going to the range and going, doing a quick, 9 or doing the full 18 or whatever. But what is it that you would hope for women in golf in the future?
I mean, obviously, I hope that more women in golf feel comfortable out on the golf course. And I think a lot of courses are doing good with having even just introductory lessons and clinics that the women can go to. And I think a lot of women are also getting involved in it too, because maybe they have children, kids that are wanting to play, and it's like a great activity to do with them or to do with the family, or, just to go out with their husband and play. So the game is definitely growing in that realm. And I hope it does continue to grow, but I think it's more so about, women feeling comfortable, and it can be intimidating out there. If you don't know the basic rules and you're, playing with a group of guys. So I think the more they kind of learn the basic fundamentals of the rules and just enjoying themselves and having fun out there. But I think there's more opportunities than there have ever been.
So I'm piggybacking on that then. What would be like some of your first tips for like women that want to get, maybe want to start golfing, or beyond watching your shows, obviously, and getting some good techniques? What would be like a first thing they should be doing to try and get involved?
Beyond that, I mean, I think just learning the very basic rules or etiquette of being out on the golf course. I think because golf is really, etiquette is a big thing. So, things like not playing too slow, not stepping in people's lines on the greens. Like there's little things that, some golfers are kind of really, really picky about. But I think if you can just keep up, that's the main thing. Like if you're struggling or having a hard time, if you, pick up your ball and go to the next one, that's fine at that level, So I think it's just like kind of keeping up with the group and just knowing like some of the basic rules.
Maybe finding others that'll support you in that journey as well.
Exactly.
You know,
and
teach you as you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of where these clinics come into place, because that's like kind of some of the things that they should be, you know, teaching you and instilling in you. And you don't have to know everything, but if you just know some of the basics and you can keep up, that's all that matters, you know?
Yeah. But it is definitely dedication. I mean, it turns into an addiction. I mean, I can attest to having a father that would rather watch sports sometimes and say, I'd rather go and hit a few balls before it gets dark or anything like that and go play. So I see that, catching on really quickly. But, you know, you living out here, can you tell us like your favorite courses to play at? There's so many beautiful courses in the Valley. What's your best course to play at? And what's your least favorite course, if you had one?
Oh, in Arizona?
Oh, in Arizona or in Vegas. If you've ever played in Vegas, like it's Badlands, it's Angel, any of those.
Well, I like in Vegas, I like Shadow Creek.
Shadow Creek, okay.
Yeah, that's obviously, you know, one of the top ones.
And then in Arizona, what's your favorite?
And then in Arizona, we have so many good courses out here. But I practice out at Greyhawk, or when I do get out on the golf course and play out at Greyhawk, they have 2 courses, 2 18s there, 2 practice facilities. It's just a good spot overall. Ton of restaurants and, you know, if you want live music, you can. If you want a good breakfast, they have that. Like they kind of have everything for the whole like realm from morning to evening time. Like it's a nice spot. So if you ever come visit, you should stop by there.
Listen, Arizona has great food.
Everything.
And they have like 10,000 golf courses, like just within like the greater Phoenix area. I think it's ridiculous.
Lots of great golf, good restaurants, good shopping. Yeah. It's a good spot.
Something I didn't realize until recently, because my brother spent his birthday to go golfing down there, is that this time of year, I guess they close all the courses down because they have to re-grass.
They're overseeding. Yeah, it's so funny because I was going to make a tee time at a golf course this weekend. Like, oh, we just overseeded everything, and we're like, what they got to do it to make. You know?
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's
so
like
what does that do for you? What do you do in the interim of that? How long does that take? And what's the time span on?
I mean,
not being able to golf.
Depending on, like, I think all of the golf courses kind of do it at different times, and some of them that have multiple courses will stagger. You know, maybe they'll do one night this week and then a couple weeks later. So it's kind of try to stagger it as much as possible. But I mean, I think it takes, I don't know, a couple months. I don't know the exact time frame of it, but for like the grass to come in. And so that's when, it's kind of, they're getting ready for the season. Cause I mean, winter golf here in Arizona and spring golf is just amazing. Like the courses, they should be in good shape. Like, you know, they do the overseeding and then we've got the great weather. So, but you just got to get through that time frame where you're like, they're overseeding. You kind of just know the courses are going to be kind of crappy.
Yeah, super funny. I couldn't believe that. It was pretty interesting. So kind of moving into now, while you're professional golfing, you're also kind of beginning a modeling career. You've been in a bunch of magazines. I mean, like Maxim and Men's Health and the Golf Digest. What's that? The Golf
Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated. I mean, crazy. So was it hard for you to do that as well as then come golfing? And like, do people look at you differently? Like, oh, well, you're just a model. You're not really a golfer anymore. Like, are they curious about your skill set since they just see you in magazines now? Or then?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of past that stage because when I first graduated from college, I had my first modeling job and it was a photo shoot for Golf Digest and it was a calendar. We did the photo shoot in Hawaii. And at that time with the NCAA and college and all that, you couldn't, like now it's a completely different ball game with the college students where they can take these jobs and sponsorships and all of this, like all of that's wild to me. Back then I got approached to do some jobs, but I couldn't do them because I was on scholarship. I couldn't, accept them and I had to wait till I graduated. So as soon as I graduated, I booked this job with Golf Digest and that was the first shoot I did. And to be honest, I mean, I started this modeling career as well as playing out on tour because I was doing that to pay for all of my golf expenses. Yeah.
Because it's expensive. It is an expensive sport. It's not like it's cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. And then coming out of college golf, I mean, you have a coach who sets up your travel and your flights and your car rentals. Now, I'm out of college and I have, an entry fee every week. I've got to figure out my car rental. You got to figure out your flight or how you're going to get to this spot to, the next spot next week. so it's a lot of expenses. And for me, like a lot of other girls had like family backing them and I didn't have that. So I was like, how am I going to do this? So my modeling really was, I love to do it, but it was really at that time a way for me to get my ultimate goal, which was to play professional golf. So it was a really different way to do it. And yeah, I got to experience a lot in both sides of those careers, and I meshed them together, which was really nice and kind of made this own, career for myself by doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, now talk about these programs that you're having on the Golf Channel and how those are working for you, and what kind of, I don't know, like, is there a favorite moment you had so far in doing these shows, or a favorite, guest you've had on that most memorable for you?
I mean, I knew that once I was done playing professional golf, I wanted to work with Golf Channel. I was on a show called The Big Break, which was their number one watch show on Golf Channel. And it's kind of like a Survivor of golf. And so the first time I was on it, I finished runner up. And then the second time I was on it the following year, I got asked back. They did like a reunion show, and then I won that show. So through that, and that was what, like, I want to say like 9 years ago. But through that experience, I created these relationships with Golf Channel, which was really, it was my big break with the prizes that you win from the show and the exposure and then the sponsorships I've got and still have to this day. So, yeah, I just created great relationships with them to where I knew and they knew that when I was done playing and when it was the right time, I wanted to, would love to work in golf television. So I love what I do. I love helping people, with their golf games. And I love being on that media side of it.
Yeah, that's great. And you've got some other co-hosts that you have on the shows as well. Has there been something for you that you've really enjoyed about having, being on these shows? Or, like I said, like, is there like a particular guest that's been very memorable for you in the experience so far? I know you've probably had 1,000 episodes, but if there was anything that stuck out in that time.
So my co-host is Martin Hall. He's from England and he's a teacher and he's worked with many players. Right now he works with on the LPGA side, he works with like Lexi Thompson, but we've had so many great guests. Gosh, we've had so many guests on our show, which is really cool. And I think the thing with us is the longevity of our show, because we've done, gosh, how many episodes? I don't know the exact number, but I want to say like we're almost at 400. I don't know. Don't mark my word. I'm not sure exactly the number, but I know that we've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the reason why part of the reason too why the show is so successful is like we have a great relationship, and a lot of people, I think, when they comment to either one of us, say that they can see that as well. And so they see like we work well together and like we have can banter
a
off
good chemistry.
Yeah. Great chemistry. Yeah, exactly. And he's a great teacher, and the drills and the show is always interesting and different. So yeah, we've had a lot of success with it, and hopefully it continues to keep moving forward, and thus far it has. So
that's amazing.
Are there any golfers on your watch list that are up and coming right now that are heading PGA bound that you have your eyes set on, that you're a favorite to?
I mean, there's just so many good players out there.
There are.
There are. And then it's kind of interesting too to see everything with like the Live Tour and what players are moving.
Yes.
Over there, Cameron Smith moving over there, and it's kind of wild. The game of golf has gotten a lot of attention from all of the kind of conversations, I'll say, going on with the PGA Tour and the Live Tour. But
what are your thoughts on the Live Tour?
Yeah,
like, what if you were playing golf during this time and Live came about? Like, what would be your response for this?
I think it's kind of crazy, because I think that it will never be the PGA Tour at the level of play that the PGA Tour and what they've done over all of these years. But at the same time, I think it would be really, really hard if someone came to you and said, I'm going to pay you X amount of millions and millions of dollars to come over here and play. What are you going to do? You know?
Right.
I feel like that's just like a hard
It's like a
thing.
lottery
How
ticket.
do you
You're not
say
gonna throw out the
no?
ticket.
Like
You can't say you can't.
Yeah. It's hard to
Especially when the prize purse is just guaranteed, as opposed to you having to play so many multiple rounds of PGA to get that prize purse.
exactly.
The money is right there. Yeah.
Right. And they're playing less
that.
events, although I guess now they're adding events, but still, I mean, they're playing less events. You know, these guys, I kind of think there might not have been so much like stigma around all of this if there hadn't been the comments, you know, from Phil Mickelson. And then, you know, if Greg Norman, you know, wasn't involved, like there's certain, you know, characters that kind of made it kind of blow up bigger than maybe it would have been if it just kind of happened on its own. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think there's room for both. I think the PGA Tour is always gonna, I mean, they've stepped up their game too because of Live. So I mean, there's been some, you know, back and forth things that have actually made the game grow and the purses grow.
Right.
But with the Live Tour, I don't know, it kind of seems like it's a tour to where these guys, maybe in the back of their mind, I'm kind of thinking, you know, maybe they want to play their couple years or their few years and get the money in the bank and then move on with their lives and enjoy
it's not a bad way to go out.
No. Yeah. So I mean, I see the temptation there. I can't say like, you know. So yeah.
That's wonderful. We had a couple of comments in the chat. I just wanted to share them with you. I had a little break real quick. And I know Chris Wynn here said that you're a rare combination of beauty, athleticism, golf skills, much in the same way as like a Michelle Wee and a Natalie Gublis.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was sweet.
Very nice.
Yes. Yes.
Great players.
So let's talk a little bit about how we kind of came in contact. And that was through the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. You guys had like a promo kickoff event out here in Las Vegas called Viva. And it sounded like I'm upset that Mo and myself were actually already busy that day, but I did get a couple of these photos that you guys shared. So you hosted the event.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about Viva and what it was for, and then a little bit about the Tournament of Champions by Hilton Grand Vacations.
Yeah, so you know, the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions is first off one of my favorite events of the year to play in. It's just an amazing tournament where we have the celebrities playing with the LPGA Tour winners. So you've got that rare combination that no one else has. People can come out and watch. This event, Viva in Las Vegas, was really cool. It's the first time they put it on. I was out there meeting all the groups and playing some golf with all of the groups, but the winning group from that day would get to win an all-expense trip paid to the week of the Hilton Grand Vacation to play that week, and then potentially have the opportunity to play on the weekend in the actual tournament. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I love it because when I saw that it was just LPGA girls, I was like, or women, I'm like, that's just badass. Like, I mean,
it is.
It is.
You know, because you see a lot of these celebrity tournaments and it's always, you know, the guys get all the fun. They get to play with all the stars up in Reno or, you know, Tahoe events. But to have this one where the ladies on the tour get to have these experiences and get to be, you know, out in front of everybody and competing, I think is, well, and then it's also like the kickoff, I think they said, of the tour itself, or the LPGA.
It is.
Okay. Yeah.
The LPGA. Yeah, it's the first tournament of the year for the LPGA. And I know that the stats for the views that they got were just outrageous. So
that's awesome.
The tournament itself had a lot of eyes on it. And it's just like such a unique event. You know, when you combine the LPGA, you know, best players in the world, and then you get these, you know, celebrities playing as well. And then they have the concerts in the evenings. I mean, they put on like a first class show the entire week. So it's kind of like if you can make it out there, if you're in the area, like that's a spot to be.
What experience, man.
And so that's in Orlando in January, correct?
Yes. And it's at Lake Nona Golf and Country Club. And that's actually where we film our show, School of Golf. It's the same golf course.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So you're familiar. So you got kind of an edge on everybody else.
I'm familiar, yeah. Although we don't always film on the course. We film with the practice facility, but I'm very familiar with the area. It's like my second home, you know?
Well, that's great. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. I'm excited for you guys in doing that. Now, a little bit off topic, because whenever I meet somebody or find out we have a new guest on, I kind of stalk the Instagram. And one of the pictures I saw was this picture of you and this adorable dog.
Oh, so cute.
Now you're wearing a Broncos shirt.
I am.
And for all of our viewers that know me and know the show, we've been kind of, discussing the Broncos this year and the Russell Wilson topic because so as a Bronco fan, I just want to know kind of your feelings on the season so far. And
well, the season's been awful thus far. We'll see if any of that changes. But to be honest, my husband is from Denver. And
okay.
You know anything about Broncos fans? They're crazy.
They were booing Russell. I mean, they're booing him and they're leaving during overtime. I couldn't imagine. I was like, really? This is okay.
It's between that and the coach and all the media around how their performance.
It's a lot going on.
Very well. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But, my husband, he grew up in Denver and he's a Broncos fan. All of his family is, and I feel like everyone who lives in Denver are Broncos fans. So I kind of got adopted into will be a Broncos fan.
Yeah, you marry into the guy's sport.
Yeah,
I'm married into it.
Yeah. Now, is he a golfer too? Does he golf at all?
He does. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He loves it. Yeah, he's the one who's also, when you said about it being addicting.
Yes, that's him.
Yes.
So now he has a segue. He can get distracted from Russell and clear his mind. I have his mind be cloudy and play golf.
Yeah, but
it's stresses on the golf course.
But it's the worst because I'll start out watching the game with him. We've got our son. He's got his Broncos shirt on. Our dog has his Broncos collar on. He's like, "You better go get your Broncos shirt." I got my Broncos shirt on. And then halfway through the game, I'm like, "Oh no, I can't take this." So I go to the room, and he comes in later, and I could just tell the look on his face. I'm like, "Oh, you're not in a good mood, are you?"
Yeah.
And then I have to put up with that,
Yeah,
that's tough. Now that would be definitely tough.
Depressed,
so you have our sympathies there.
You don't have my sympathy. I'm a Raiders fan. You guys had a great run with Peyton Manning. I don't really want to hear it. So it's kind of like, welcome to our dark side. We know how that is. And like, if he's playing golf, I suggest he rather play golf than watch the season. I think he should just take the L on the season and just focus on his golf game.
I'd rather him do that too.
Yeah. But it's hard. I know, because every week you want to see what happens. You think there's a win. You think it's going to be close, so I get it.
Yeah. There's definitely struggles there, but thank you for that. Before we let you go, we just wanted to, ask you, for the younger girls out there, for the girls growing up that maybe were 11 or maybe are older, a little bit older, a little younger, like what would you say for them to stay focused and to go for their dreams? Because you want to be a professional golfer as a kid. So what would you say for those young girls out there and wanting to pursue their dreams?
I would say, as far as practicing, I would say put a lot of focus into your short game. That's really important, and that's going to take you far. And then just enjoy it, enjoy the process. Really trying to have the best mentality. Golf is such a mental game. So I think trying to have the best mentality while you're out on the golf course, and being able to kind of maintain your emotions and stay even keel and not ever get too high or too low when you're out there over, 4.5 hours of being on the golf course is really important. I think, those couple things, like a good foundation to things that you have to be able to play at the professional level and to be successful. But at the end of the day, just love what you do and practice a lot. Play in as many tournaments as you can. Yeah, just experience.
Takes a lot of patience in golf. I've come to realize that when I got my clubs and attempted to try. And then I ended up selling my clubs.
No!
Well, it's a time thing. Like, if I don't have time, I literally feel like you have to be retired to play this game or something, or have a business of your own that doesn't require you to be there.
Yeah.
You have people working. Like, I just didn't have the commitment and time. I mean,
it does take
early tee times would be booked. The lessons were mad early, and I am not a morning person. So it just was not in my wheelhouse at the moment. So I had to sell them. But it doesn't mean that I can never go back to it. I feel like it is something.
You're getting inspired.
The women's 9-hole clubs, like wine and nine, what do they call it?
That I will be down for, because I love my wine.
That's why
one day
I'm like really retiring to that world.
Blair, I'm gonna have to check into that. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
All right, Blair. Thank you so much. For everybody out there,
Thank you,
when
Blair.
does your show air on Golf Channel, and where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel, School of Golf. And you can find me on Instagram at Blair O'Neal Golf and Twitter at Blair O'Neal and on Facebook.
Right on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Blair. We wish you continued success, and we will have to get you back out one day. And we're definitely going to check out this golf tournament too. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Nice chatting with you guys.
Yes.
All right,
bye. Blair O'Neal, y'all. Give it up to her. She's like ultimate girl power, I feel like.
Like
she's just giving her flowers right then and there, because
I know. I mean,
amazing.
you're golfing, modeling. You have a successful career.
Right.
You've got a family.
Your mother, your wife. You're doing all this stuff. You have a show.
The only thing is that they're Broncos fans. That's the only.
I mean, listen, we all are not perfect. You know what I mean? It happens.
I know.
We're not perfect. We're not striving for perfection here, but it is close to her perfection as we're going to get with all of her accolades. So big ups to her on that. But God, the wine and nine, I'm all for that. I mean, I literally had to sell my golf clubs. I just did not have the committed time to pursue it. So
my thing is that it's kind of more of an individual sport. And so like, I need to be around people. Like I need to talk. Like if I'm out doing something, I just don't want to be by myself.
You can talk. You can talk.
I mean, it's not like, okay, so like playing basketball or softball, like you were on a team. So there's always like 10 or 20 people around you when you're doing things. I just feel like golf is more of an individual sport. And it's just.
It is when you're first practicing, but when you're with a group of people, there's things that can happen. And I think if that wine gets to flowing, you're going to be talking all through people's thing. I mean, I watched Caddyshack enough times to see it was fun. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miss Ball and D.
Yes,
definitely.
I don't know why she came up as Facebook user today, but that's her.
She came up on. I see her on my iPad.
It came up on my screen, but for some reason, maybe you have to update the StreamYard. I'm not sure.
Shout out to Rashad. Thank you.
Yes.
Joining the chat. She is very impressive. I agree.
She's very. We're gonna get into some hot topics. We don't talk a ton about college football here, but one thing that I found that was incredibly impressive as well as outstanding was the Tennessee Vols win over Alabama. Unless you're an Alabama fan, you hate Alabama. So that's kind of like the divide there. And these fans literally took, first of all, 101, almost 102,000 fans were in their stadium. Can you imagine 102,000? I've never been to a game that had that many fans before. 102,000 fans in a stadium rushing the field after the win. And here's what happened to the post.
As soon as they playing, I mean, that's a huge deal.
First of all, how did the school even? I mean, I get the school's all with it too, but they had to tear down the pole and take it out the stadium. Then they walked down the street with it, and apparently, at some point, threw it into the Tennessee River.
That's what you got to do. I mean, this is Alabama, okay? This is something that's probably been a long time coming. I just saw the video reaction to the cheerleaders.
Yes.
How they were reacting to the win. I mean, this was a huge monumental moment. So
huge.
I get it. I totally get where they were coming from with all of that.
I was in awe again about the 102,000 fans. But they hadn't beat Alabama in 15 years prior to Nick Saban.
Right.
And then they hadn't beat a top 10 team in almost 20 years. I think like
so
8
that
years
warrant the goalpost coming down, warranted throwing it in the river.
Now the school itself got fined $100,000 for doing it, for allowing fans to storm the field. Which I'm sorry, there's not enough security in the world that could have stopped that.
Absolutely not
at all. And then. I guess in the last couple of days since then, Tennessee has been tweeting out to their alumni, to their students to make donations because they're raising money for a new goalpost. And they'd already raised like $67,000.
Oh, they'll get it.
Pretty amazing.
They'll get it. Alumni will definitely sign up for that all day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We do want to shed light, of course, on Brittany Griner. Happy belated birthday to Brittany. She turned 32 yesterday.
Libra.
Yeah, there you go. That's your Libra gang. Libra gang. You know, she's still in Russia. It's been 244 days. She has her trial for the appeal next Tuesday. Her attorneys are working with her on that. They basically don't. The experts say that they're not that the decision is not going to get overturned, but that it's possible. You know, with a 3-judge panel, that maybe they would slightly reduce her 9-year sentence, but obviously nobody is holding her breath. Now, we saw yesterday, Steph Curry took a moment during their ring ceremony to give dedication to her. And also tonight, Kyrie Irving did one as well, which I think was pretty amazing.
Yeah. But the big picture that's going on in the world is free our sister, Brittany Griner. Please, POTUS, do your job. Everybody do your job. Please bring our sister home. And we wouldn't be doing our jobs to the best of our ability if we didn't stand on what we believe in. So we want to thank you.
So, yeah, we want Brittany Griner home. I just, you know, unfortunately, I don't think the ball's in our court with this one. I think
no, it's up to Russia. I mean,
our government's doing a lot.
Negotiations for, and let's not negate that it's not only Brittany Griner over there. It's also Tim Whelan that's over there, who has been over there longer as well. They're negotiating. It's on the side of Russia at this point. It's them making the decision. She faces a labor camp, an intensive labor camp, to be moved to if we don't get her out sooner than later, you know. And the fact that I'm seeing an acknowledgement of solidarity within the NBA community is very impressive, because prior to that, I felt like I wasn't hearing nothing from these guys.
No.
And to take those platforms on opening game day of the season, and ring ceremony for Steph Curry, to not let it all be about the team, but to be about her and an acknowledgement, I think that's huge. I think that's something that needs to be said throughout this whole season. I think free BGs need to be on their courts. You know what I mean? I feel like could be one of those messages that we have.
It would be nice. It would be nice. Yeah, Quan, I'll reach out to you at the Mangoes. We'll work out a barter system or something, you know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Quan said the Nets could have used BG tonight. Yeah, was it that bad?
Well, they could have. I was watching the overtime game. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Memphis didn't have a chance. Man, Memphis is just on fire.
In some other news, Dana White officially is starting the Power Slap League. So you all know the slap fighting has been around for a while. Well, no, I guess we've seen this before. Like, there's a lot of like European countries that do these contests where they have the slap competition.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Well, now the Nevada State Athletic Commission has unanimously agreed to regulate slap fighting. So supposedly Dana White's slap boxing league is going to be starting sometime before the end of the year, and then it will begin by having these contests at the UFC Apex facility.
Okay.
I just
have at it. I'm not.
Can we start? I wish that now if they have a celebrity slap fight, that would be amazing. Like we could throw, you know, like the Jerry Jones and the Kraft into a celebrity.
I don't want to see anybody being slapped around. Just throw a punch. The slap does nothing for me. It's more of the punch. Like, get into the fights of what boxing is. I don't even get all that slapping stuff.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Plus, on a cultural note, Black people getting slapped, that's an ultimate war. Like, we're going crazy. So you're not going to do any, like, who's going to be participating on this? That's what I want to know.
We will see.
Quan said he got his media credits already. Ready for the slap action.
Well, you know, Dana's his best friend. So, you know, yeah. Get a front row seat. Wear plastic.
He can give us firsthand how that really looks and what that's framed around. I'm very curious. Yeah. But yeah, you're not slapping me.
Thanks, Quan. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Jugadores Locos. Oh, James Bokne. I think I'm sounding right. I don't know.
You know, but go ahead.
Yeah.
James B was arrested.
James B was arrested. He was found intoxicated, unconscious, and holding a gun while in his vehicle while it was in drive.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Police called, said there's a guy, you know, he's blocking an intersection. The cops come because he has a gun. They're trying to wake him up with, like, you know, lights and horns and whatever. Took him almost an hour. When he wakes up, he refuses to comply with commands. He appears confused. And then he eats food in the car. He eats food in the car and then crashes into 2 police cars, one in front of him, one behind him.
He didn't know where he was.
He blows a .14, which obviously we all know is .08 around everywhere. He got out on bail. He has court on November 10th. But what the interesting part is, he also has 3 other court hearings for other issues he's had with reckless driving and speeding. So he's got 4 court dates now, all between November 10th and December 3rd. Why? Maybe take away a key. Maybe get a driver. Hire a driver. Get an Uber. He's a first-round pick from last year. Like, you've got some kind of money. I digress.
I don't know what to say. I really don't. Like, this is the world of the athlete.
His parents,
this
his
is the
granny,
first
somebody
not the
around.
Last of hearing about a DUI situation, a reckless driving situation,
a
gun situation. A gun situation. It's the eating in the car for me. Like, where did you think you were? That you were thinking you were in your car to drive in, and you decided to say, "Oh, I'm done eating. I'm sober. Let me drive home."
With a gun in your lap, and then
with a gun in your lap, and you put
and cops all around
these
you.
cop cars. Yeah, like, where were you in that space? If you're blowing 1.8, you're clearly.
But he said he only had 4 shots of tequila. That was it.
Well, what kind of?
Tequila's a little dangerous, but
what kind of Casamigos are you drinking?
4 shots? I think someone spiked your stuff.
But you know, you got to be responsible out here, people. Like, this is kind of crazy at this point now, when you have options to kind of get yourself out of these situations. But yeah, you're not in your right mind when you're drunk. So clearly, he's sitting in the car eating, and then it's the eating in the car for me.
Yeah. So we are in the great time of year, of course, where we do have baseball, football, basketball, and hockey on all the same time. Our Vegas Golden Knights are 3-1 so far. They did just lose their first game last night to Calgary, but they are still in second place in the Pacific. And then we face the Jets tomorrow here at home. We will have 3 games straight at home. So I think it's Thursday, Saturday, and Monday. Hopefully,
I'll take it. These guys are winners right now. These are the only people I have in my winner's circle right now. and no one else. I'm rolling with the Knights now. Everybody's like, "Well, Mo, where are you at now with sports? Your teams are, Dodgers are out, Lakers lost."
Yeah.
Listen, I'm rolling with these Knights right now. It's nighttime. I'm
nighttime.
Hockey now.
There you go.
I'm hockey now.
There you go. And we did want to say, get better fast to Kelsey Plum, who underwent a procedure for her shoulder. So she's supposed to be good to go, though. We'll be able to train in the offseason, be back at scheduled time for the WNBA 2023 season. But yeah, she did have that happen. Also, the Lights tied on Saturday.
Yeah,
so that was the end of their season.
Yeah, they tried.
This was the best season they had.
It was. But speaking of the Aces, real quickly, I want to shout out everybody that made it.
Yes. Oh, you did?
Sporting Goods to get their Chelsea Gray, point guard.
Go girl.
Autograph, photo op, everything. Honestly, they were saying rules, like you had sent me the rules saying that you couldn't sign anything. No, you could bring stuff for her to sign. You had rally towels, she was signing it. You had hats, she was signing it. She was signing whatever she could. And shout out to De'Erica Hamby crashing her autograph signing. I thought that was kind of cute that she snuck up on her and surprised her to give her support. It was a great turnout for Dick. Some people stood in line.
Well, now I'm mad that Natalie was there the whole time and she brought me back a poster, but she didn't give me back nothing signed. Like, if you could have anything signed, have her sign this
poster. What kind of poster? Was it the posters at the entry?
It's just one of those on a hot streak little.
Yeah, they had those at the door on the table when you walk in. That didn't do anything. She wasn't signing those. It was too black. I mean, dark. You couldn't. I say black. It was black with her black pin. You couldn't do it. It's too black for the black chick to sign with a black pin. There, I said it. No, it's too dark. You can't do that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but the rally towels, hats, whatever. She probably would have signed a jersey on you, whatever you were wearing. Towards the end, she was open to all of that. So big ups to her, and I got my little autograph and thanked her for her.
Good for you.
Great.
That's awesome.
Great.
Did you guys get pictures with them or no?
I got pictures. I got a picture with her too. I haven't posted a picture, but I got a picture with her.
Well, you better post
did.
That's good.
I'm not no flexer like that. I'm gonna flex on the show,
But you could share it like on our on our Instagram or something. There's Aces fans out there. Okay, we'll do you,
group, baby.
Stay in the cut. Stay in the cut.
Yeah. I was. Mel, you're trying to blast me. I was working that day. Was I supposed to be there? No. So why would I post when I'm clearly supposed to be at that store?
Lunch
It
break.
wasn't a lunch, not at 9 o'clock, not at 11. But it was going to be. You know what I mean? This was an opportunity you had to
you
go.
still
I
can
traded
flex
back
your
business.
time. You know what I mean? You flex the
Or
lunch
the
break.
posting
It's all
nothing
good.
to tell on myself. You're trying to get me in trouble.
I hear you. I got you. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So moving on to baseball. Like you mentioned, your Dodgers are out.
Yeah.
My Mariners are out. Listen, shout out to my brother though, because Saturday's experience for this ALDS game, for the game 3, I was in Seattle. We had a suite. Listen, I came into that game expecting to leave and go to the Husky game or go to the Kraken game. I was like, okay, once this game's over, I'm gonna beeline it to one of these games. This was an 18-inning game.
Yeah, that was a long game.
It went from like 1 until like 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's
we were
crazy.
at this field. It was intense.
And then you said they cut off, at the 8th inning, they cut off all supplies.
At
so
the
you can't,
7th or 8th inning, all alcohol, all
stretch,
drinks done. So I'm like dying, looking for water, trying to find something to eat. Luckily, you know me, I keep snacks in my purse. So I was eating some gummy bears and whatever else.
Yeah.
But it was a lot. But here's just it was a sold out crowd. We surprised my mom with tickets. It was really cool, just a little bit. We tried to win. We believe
all of that to be taken out. But I can't talk. All of us
believed.
with 111 wins to be taken out. I think the Twitter talk was mostly about the Dodgers. How is it that you have the most wins in the league and you can't even beat the Padres? So where do we go from here as a Dodger fan? But I had predicted this to you. I told you, I said, I don't like when we have
number
these high
one. You don't like being number one.
I don't like being number one. I don't like these high record of wins because we could never close when it comes to postseason. When game 2,
you were still in it. You were still in it to win it, though. You were like, I don't like it, but we got this. We got this.
I was optimistic. I was very optimistic because we had Freddie Freeman. I was optimistic because we had a healthy Kershaw. I was optimistic because it made sense.
I mean, deep bullpen.
And deep pitching. I like all of that. It made sense. So the fact that we didn't take a lead doesn't make any sense. And where do we go from here? Is it one of those strategies where we have to only win 84 games like the Padres to advance and load manage our guys, take more L's? I mean, what is it going to take for these Dodgers to, get us another World Series that doesn't really have a necessary asterisk on it it took us only half a season for us to do when we have a full, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But shout out to Fashion Show Mall. Shout out to Dodgers Clubhouse. They opened a Dodgers store. I did post that. Very happy about that. It's great. They've got customized jerseys you can buy there. They got the bobbleheads. They got the pops. They got everything you need.
Nice.
So it's at Fashion Show Mall, 2nd floor, right across from Nordstrom. So check out the Dodgers.
So I know that the Astros game is on. So of course the Yankees had like crazy weather. So a lot of their ALDS had been rain delayed or rain rescheduled. So they just started the ALCS tonight. Astros are up 4-2 in the middle of the 8th. Padres beat the Phillies earlier today. Their series is tied at 1-1.
I watched that game.
These are going to be some good games. These are going to be some good games.
For the Padres. I mean, they just were back-to-back homers. Juan Soto hit one. Then it was followed out by another. I mean, their bats just got hot late into the game. Where they were down, it was like the score was like 4-2. And then it just advanced, And Bryce Harper hit a late homer. Didn't help. But, yeah. This is going to be an interesting series. They are where they are. They belong where they belong. I'll take it.
It's that, I mean, I wish both of us would have been there, but now
I would have loved it too, but it takes the stress off of me. I'm nights now. It's nighttime.
Nighttime.
Yeah, I'm with these nights.
Getting into some football. Listen, first of all, I think every team we thought would have won or not won didn't. It was another ridiculous Sunday. I mean, you had you had the Commanders winning. You had
which they won. Commanders won.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying you didn't have. I'm saying like in general, the Commanders won. Yeah. Pittsburgh beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom was hot. Here's just a little shot of Tom Brady.
That's what Mike Tomlin said. He said, pressure doesn't sack Tom Brady. You have to get there with 4. And now he is fired up talking to his offense on the sideline.
I didn't leave my wife and kids to be losing to Kenny Pickett at halftime.
Well, he's yelling at them like he should be like he's trying
Well,
to yell
yeah.
at his wife. He's really going through it. This guy, the struggle is real.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
and they're just like, whatever, man.
And he
You're
had
going
went
through
to
personal
Robert
stuff.
Kraft's wedding just like a night before walkthroughs. The day, I think a day or day two before the
Well,
game.
that's triggering. To see somebody's wedding, you're no longer going to be married. So that's triggering.
Listen,
you're dumping all your emotions
it's a
on
lot.
your players, Tom. They're doing the best
and it's
they can.
hurting my fantasy football
O-line,
team.
They're not even healthy, these guys. Some of them are just coming out on the whim for you. And this is what you do. You're going to berate them because you're going through marital problems.
Yeah,
like,
he is hot. He's like, I am Tom Brady. This is not why I came back. Well, you came back. You should have left it be and retired.
Shouldn't have
no one needed
reneged,
you,
sir. Shouldn't have reneged. Yeah. And then there's rumors about Giselle being this sorcerer or witch, and her witchcraft or her being there is helping Tom to his success.
Stop.
So the fact that he is not there, she is not there.
Not the sorcery.
Oh yeah, they're saying she's a witch, full on. Her spells have helped Tom Brady throughout his
is that how she stays so skinny?
Wins. And now that she is not there, you see what is happening. You need your spellcaster back. You shouldn't have reneged. You shouldn't have told somebody that you're going to retire and then not retire after 22 years. You shouldn't have done that. And now look at you. You're looking crazy, and you're going to end the fall of your career on some old dumb stuff. And then you're going to take it out on your team because you can't take it out on anybody else.
Yeah. And
poor guy.
So well, not poor guy. I mean, he made his choice. He got to deal with it. I mean, just get your TB12 method going and start getting your head back in gear here, buddy.
He needs Giselle. I'm telling you, it's the witchcraft. Go through Twitter and see that Giselle is a witch. See how everyone is saying she is the spellcaster for him. I can't believe you did not hear this.
You know, I don't. No. That's hilarious, though. Dak Prescott.
Thanks for joining. Said she mad because you got a husband that worked. Well, he worked for 22 years, and she worked too. But when is it going to be a compromise? I thought marriage was about a compromise. We got to compromise, right? You don't sit up at the dinner table and tell me, okay, this is the year I'm done. After me lugging the kids, going to your games, watching you shine, to only renege and say, oh, I changed my mind.
And
so then
when he returned, did he even say anything, I wonder? Or did he just say, you know
come
what?
on, man. Listen, you're stressing me out. What kind of selfish stuff is this?
Men talk.
Men. The men love it. The men we need him because you guys feed off of Tom Brady. It feeds your soul. I get it. It's your outlet from your other wives or your current girlfriends and stuff. You need him as much as he needs you, but he needs his wife. It ain't working. She's got to be there.
A lot. So Dak Prescott has medically cleared. I think the Cooper Rush time frame has stopped. Dak is supposed to be back in the saddle this weekend. Mm-hmm. Now, if Dak were to lose this upcoming game,
first of all, let's say before we talk about this, everybody was riding the wave of Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
They were all into this thing that Cooper Kupp was the savior. He was the dude. He did an effective job being a backup in those first 4 games. The only challenging game the Cowboys had was against the Rams. And that was somewhat impressive that he was able to beat them. And they're a broken Rams team, by the way. It's not even let's not even say that. But when you face a formidable opponent like the Eagles, what did you think was going to happen? I told you,
it's
Dak
the Eagles.
It's
the only undefeated team going into Week 7. You know how crazy that is?
Quarterback for that, and Cooper is not it. And poor Cooper's wife, she flew there. He told her, "Don't come." She decided, "No, I want to come and see you, play." And she flew. She bought a ticket, flew out there, and curtain closed.
It's a done deal over there. So he will be getting that start. They play Detroit at home this weekend. We'll see how that
easy.
goes.
That should be light
Tua is also expected back this weekend versus the Steelers. He's cleared concussion protocols.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cardinals traded for Robbie Anderson after he got kicked out of his own game by his coach. So he's going to be with the Cardinals. And DeAndre Hopkins is back. So you've got 2 wide receivers. He's supposed to be debuting this weekend as well. So you got both these guys starting for the Cardinals this weekend.
Is that going to change Arizona?
If something can change for Kyler.
Is that going to change Arizona, though?
They got a lot more to work on.
Are they in a bye week? I think they're in a bye week.
They got a lot more to work on.
Oh, no, they play in New Orleans on Thursday, yeah.
Who?
Oh, no. Arizona.
Bye weeks is the Bills, Rams, Vikings, and the Eagles. Basically, a lot of people's fantasy footballs are screwed this week. You got Bills, Rams, Vikings, Eagles. Listen. It's a tough one.
Well, this is the time for all the other teams that are like my Raiders and stuff to come up. This is the time that maybe we could take advantage of gaining some momentum to get our be above 500, close to it as best as possible.
I gotta publicly acknowledge this man, though. So Monday Night Football, we saw another crappy primetime performance by the Denver Broncos, but the Chargers literally won this game due to this man. Dustin Hopkins was injured. He literally was grimacing and fell after every field goal he kicked, but he is the reason that the Chargers won in overtime. He's actually going to be on the injured list. He's not going to be playing this coming weekend because he's going to miss some time after this, but there's no excuse for anybody. I mean, this man is out here really performing and clearly in pain. I don't know. Just big shout out to him. I thought it was admirable for him to be out there. 4 for 4. It was great. Yeah. NBA opening night yesterday. You got your Lakers purple on. You want to say something?
I sure do. I do.
Okay.
I mean, they're my team, and
this
is what we I mean, I expect, first of all, they're playing the reigning champions, Golden State Warriors. Was anybody playing the Golden State Warriors going to win that game one against them in their home court with the ring ceremony?
On the ring ceremony.
I doubt it.
But would they have made it closer than 20 points?
Yeah, they probably would have. And that's the thing that I'm worried, that concerns me the most about Lakers. And I'm wondering now, should the Buddy Hield trade talk happen? I mean, is this the conversation that we need to have, where we get Marvin and Buddy to come on over? And originally they were talking about Russell starting off the bench, and then he's starting. I mean, I don't know. We play the Clippers tomorrow. Good luck. We probably literally have 8 teams in the West right now that are going to supersede the Lakers. So I need to go down the list? I can.
Should we just snapshot this real quick so we play it back towards the end of the season?
About the Lakers are going to be trash or what?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, it's a tough one for you guys. I mean, here's the deal. It's what LeBron, he's celebrating his 20th year in the league. He said this is going to be his final year. He said, I think they made that announcement. They shot 10 for 40 from 3-point line. Like, after 10 for 30, do you just not stop? Because at this point, I would think y'all are just cold. Like, why are you you missed 30 3-pointers in a game as a team? I don't.
Right. Who do we have that's a 3-point dominant shooter? Donnell, feel free to try and chime in.
It ain't Anthony Davis, so he can stop shooting from the 3-point line. I don't know.
Well, that's another thing too. Like, when I was doing my fantasy league, I wouldn't take none of these guys because they're gonna load manage. They're gonna, it's gonna be. It's the Lakers. It's we're back to where we were last season. I mean, I don't know what else to say. They're still my team. I still go rock the purple and gold. I love them. The preseason game was indicative both nights of what we're facing with this team. I mean, if you went to the preseason, and that was preseason, and then the second night, starters didn't even play, and it was still indicative to what we have as far as the future holds.
Donnell said, "No one, not a soul. None of them guys can shoot."
Robbie Anderson cards didn't need him. I don't think I mentioned Robbie Anderson. Did I mention Robbie Anderson?
No, I talked about Robbie Anderson.
I
think he thought you were talking about something else.
I didn't need him. Why are you saying Mo? I was like, what are you talking about, Dad? Oh, anyway, it's bad. Laker Nation is bad. I feel like this doesn't need to be the story, but it is the story because it's LeBron, and you got to talk about it. But this is indicative to what our season holds. And the West is pretty strongly lit. Like, we don't have no answers for them. We don't have an answer for Memphis. We won't have an answer for Dallas. We won't have an answer for Phoenix.
And Ja was doing some magic tricks today in his game.
We won't have an answer for LA. We won't have an answer for Golden State. We won't have an answer for, what's another team? New Orleans. We won't have it. By the way, Zion 22
is looking lean. Listen.
Listen, I saw those shoes he's wearing too that are his. I don't know. They're a little funky.
That's how he got the injury before, right?
Be careful. He's in his Zions. Be careful. That's all I got to say to him. Be careful,
Hopefully
brother.
they updated those,
But all of them. I mean, you got CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, former Laker,
Dallas,
all dropped double digits
John
tonight.
said
Like,
Dallas.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't have that. So we're going to be in trouble for a minute. Utah, maybe. Portland.
Utah got rid of all their team.
Yeah, we could bounce with that. OKC, we battled with them before.
Portland.
We know what SGA can do.
Did Dame get any help over there? I can't remember.
Nah, not so
There
much.
was so much happening in this offseason. It's hard to I have to literally try and piece things back together.
But there's a lot of sleepers, and that's the thing. When I drafted for NBA Fantasy League, I'm in 2 of them. I went for a lot of the young Tito's because that's where you have to go in this league. I got Jaylen Brown. I went Marcus Smart on one league. I went
because it's all load management.
Donovan Mitchell. We still got Spida out there. I mean, and then I went for some little sleepers like Mark Cannon, a few other people, like people that are thinking that they're not going to do anything. And I got Jordan Poole. I took Jordan Poole. And I don't think he's going to disappoint me.
If anybody else out there is tuning in, you missed the Blair. And Donna, you are a golf guy over here, so we could have definitely used you to have a question or two. But you're welcome to catch the replay. Check it out on our YouTube channel for anybody else that's missed it. So what bothers me about not just the load management is now we have knee load management. Zach LaVine says he's healthy, he's fine. There's been no setback to him, after his injury, but he was missing his opener tonight because of knee load management.
And that's why I didn't take him either.
Knee load management.
But they won tonight. They beat the Heat.
Well, that's
so
good,
y'all gotta win.
I mean, it's the Heat. I don't know. So I guess great. Their home openers on Saturday. Maybe he returns Saturday for the home opener in Chicago.
And the Mavericks are just pummeling the Suns within the second quarter, 52-33.
Oh,
and then the Nuggets or Jazz are playing. The Jazz are just shooting their lights out, 96-83 in the fourth.
But one thing I thought was hilarious, my brother sent me this too, is where did I put it? Dang it. James Harden with the step back shimmy for an air ball.
Hook from a point guard.
Harden just grazes the rim and Vonleh secures.
And that's why he took a salary cut. And that's why he took a salary cut.
And an air ball.
And that's why he took a salary cut. And he needed to let them get young people to come on in.
Man, that was so... I died laughing off that. I couldn't. Man, listen.
I won. Astros won. They took game 1.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
Well, I was curious to watch your game because I needed to see Jimmy Butler's hair. I needed to see.
Oh, it's been cut off.
No. Oh, you got the extensions off?
No, he's had them off. Like when preseason started, he took them off. No, he only had that during the practices. When preseason started, he had them off.
Oh, I thought he still had the extensions going. I was checking. Because on his fantasy profile, it sure has the extensions.
It still did?
Yeah. It's not updated. That's why I was like, is he got the extensions?
Yeah, they had showed him during preseason. They were like, it's clean. He got to clear his head's back to where it used to be, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a whole other thing. And this one I thought was hilarious too. Draymond wore that, shiny gold or green suit for the ring ceremony. Well, we all know that green is also for the backgrounds for when you do have a green screen,
Mm-hmm.
Only problem with wearing a green suit like this is that Twitter's going to eat you alive. Internet stays undefeated.
Yeah.
If a George Bull face on a suit.
A win is a win. You're winning
Hilarious
with the green
stuff,
and you're winning with the
swear.
game. A win is a win. And the fact that the green skating can make it change colors, a win is a win.
Yeah. Yeah. So funny. So funny.
Yeah. I'm happy NBA action is back, to be honest with you. I'm happy, but it's not going to be happy watching my team unless they get it together.
I just got to figure. Here's the deal. I already have Sunday ticket. I don't need to have the NBA pass, but I need to be seeing more of my Chicago games. And the way this is happening right now,
Well, you're up for, at least you're 1-0. You're not 0-1,
that's good, but it's the Heat.
You got Jimmy Butler. You got a squad over there. They were in the finals last year. The Eastern Conference Finals. It's not like they're a slouchy team. And
I'm not saying slouchy.
Still, right? You still have no Lonzo, right?
Yeah, I think Lonzo's
that's impressive, man. Listen, that works.
Them young guys put in work on the offseason.
The Tito's.
Okay. Oh, Mo clocked out. While she clocked out, I'll spare her. I wanted to show a little bit from it. I also went to the Seahawks game on Sunday, and here's a little clip of Tyreek Woolen in his 4th interception in 4 straight games. Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. Enough to see your Seahawks do another win.
Man, I'm just to be ahead of the Broncos, to be ahead, period, to be still tied for a first place in the division. And Geno being ranked, I think, 7th or 8th in the out of all the quarterbacks right now. What? I don't know. I don't know.
Y'all play the Chargers this week? Okay.
Chargers in San Diego. I've been debating on a road trip only because those tickets, you can go to a Chargers game for $30-some, but if it was the Rams, it's like $160.
Of course, because they ran the championship. But the thing of it is even the game the Chargers were in, if you saw the stands, the Chargers and Broncos fans, there was nobody there. Those tickets were cheap too.
Yeah.
In the lower
ticket and walk it down.
Yeah, walk on down. Mm-hmm.
All right, before we get into NFL picks, I did want to just highlight, I didn't get the video in time, but I wanted to highlight Girl Power. So this is, I think it was Nania McGeegan.
Yes,
she is the Director of Basketball Administration and Player Programs for the Golden State Warriors. She's worked with the Warriors organization for 18 years.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome how Steph Curry recognized her and basically presented her with her own NBA championship ring. So it was pretty dope.
Yeah,
it's great for the Warriors organization to show that support. And yeah, it's definitely.
Well, they're always a progressive organization. Let's not,
sure.
Forget where they come from. So yeah, that was great. The acknowledgement, everything. So
Yep. So picks, I won last week, 3-2. Like I said, it was a crapshoot. I picked Atlanta, the Giants, and Bengals, and you had picked the Vikings and the Jets. So barely.
I'm rolling with the Jets. If y'all not paying attention,
I hear you.
Jets is
I
doing
hear
it. Robert
you.
Saleh over there. I don't know what to tell you. I'm winning money off these Jets.
Okay, I'm with
it.
All right, so
they want to be out there.
Thursday Night Football. I got the Saints at the Cardinals.
Yeah. I gotta go with
but hang on, the Saints are going to be out. Michael Thomas,
right? He's out.
And I had Michael Thomas.
I saw that with Michael Thomas because I have
Jarvis Landry, Marshawn Lattimore, and Adam Troutman. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Maybe they'll get a little home field advantage with having DeAndre Hopkins.
Boy, in your division, you think you'd want them to tank.
Yeah, but Arizona's the worst one. I'd rather root for them than somebody else.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Cardinals too on that too.
We got the Browns at Cleveland.
Wait, sorry. Browns at Cleveland?
The Browns at the Ravens.
I'll go with Baltimore.
Yeah, I gotta go with Baltimore too. They just signed Deshaun. Who was it? Deshaun. Why can't I think of his last name? Deshaun Jackson. That's it. He's 35, and the Baltimore Ravens just signed him for it. So hey, go for it if you got it.
I'm just betting on Lamar at this point. And they got the best defense in the league.
That defense ain't doing it though.
No, it's not.
We got the Bucks at Carolina. I feel like
I think Tom Brady will redeem himself. I think they'll come back on this.
Yeah.
It's Baker Mayfield, and I don't really like him.
Well, Baker's gone right now. He's still injured, but they said that when Baker comes back, it's going to be a quarterback competition. Then it's going to be him against Darnold, trying to see who's going to be starter after that at that point, because I think they're tired of it too. All right, got the Falcons at the Bengals. Both won last week.
I'll roll with the Bengals. We'll see Cincinnati's going to do.
Yeah. All right, Detroit Lions at the Cowboys.
Well, we're going to go with Dallas. I don't like them, but we're going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with Dallas.
You can. I'm gonna stick with Detroit. I'm gonna
Okay.
hopefully Hard Knocks will just get him
1
one
and
time
4.
in Jerry's house.
Or 1 and
Get him in
5.
Jerry's house.
Yeah.
The Giants at Jacksonville.
I'm going with
The
the
Giants are
Giants.
looking good, man. The New York
But
Giants and Jets are both.
But let me tell you something. The Jaguars ain't no slouch either. Like whoever, I mean, they're looking good. They're looking fairly decent too. But I'm gonna roll with the Giants. They're on a roll right now.
All right, Colts at Tennessee.
Jonathan Taylor's still questionable. He's not on the IR
Still
anymore,
questionable. I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I don't know. And Matt Ryan. Come on, I don't know.
Matty Ice. I know he's just not the guy. It all depends for me for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
I'll roll with the Colts and see if he comes back. Then that may be giving us a chance. But I'll just roll
we got
with
the Packers at the Commanders. Yeah, Aaron. They said Randall Cobb is out too for like 2 to 4 weeks.
I'll go with Green Bay.
I got it too, but that's just.
But they've
lost.
He
has nobody to throw
Lambeau's
to. He has
not
like
a threat
nobody
like it used to be. But they're in Washington, right?
Yeah.
They'll
All right. Jets at Broncos. I'm rolling with your Jets then, girl.
Yeah, you got to. You don't have a choice. I mean, you really don't. It's Denver.
Listen, here's the deal. What I don't understand is that every time he plays a game and loses, now he has another injury. Why don't you just tell him to stop then? Stop telling us you have injuries after you lose. Then stop and heal then. Stop playing. Oh, it was my shoulder, and now I got a hamstring.
Leave Russell alone. You know what it is.
Just heal.
We had called this before that the Denver Broncos, I said, should be at the bottom of the totem pole at the very beginning of the season.
I know.
And Melvin Gordon, you're getting upset on the sidelines, and Jared Judy, you getting upset.
He's liking tweets that people are saying about get out of town.
Be open. Be open. How about that?
At least their defense is giving me points.
The defense is the only thing.
I feel bad for the defense because the ones keeping them in games, yet they can't get anything out of it.
The problem is they're getting out coached too. And Robert Saleh has a system in place with these Jets that's making it work. So that's where I'm going off with these Jets too.
Okay.
They're hungry and they have a coach.
All right, your Raiders Texans game.
I know. I got to pick my Raiders. I mean, I know Jonathan Abram is up for possible trade. And I know they're also talking about, for some strange reason, they're looking at Nelson Aguilar to acquire another tight end. Why? Because Darren Waller is still questionable and hurt.
He's still out.
He's not deemed out, but I don't know if he's going to play this week. But I'm going with my Raiders. It's the Texans. We got to do. Shout out to Natasha Ransberry.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll be looking for you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll my Raiders.
Okay. Seattle at the Chargers. Listen. I don't feel like Herbert has performed as Herbert was supposed to. You know what I mean? Like Herbert has not been that guy that I thought he would have been last year.
And that game against Denver did not speak any kind of high volumes for them. That game went into overtime. That was a struggle for them.
That was bad.
It was very bad.
You should have done that a lot better.
That's the last 2 times.
I'm gonna roll with my team, of course.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick them too. I'm gonna roll with your Seahawks because I don't like the Chargers, and I feel like they should have taken an L against Denver last Monday anyway. This past Monday.
Kansas City Chiefs at the 49ers. I don't want to hear the 49ers talking about my whole team is hurt and this is why it is.
No. I'm going with those Chiefs, and they're struggling in San Francisco for real.
Absolutely. All right. Pittsburgh at Miami.
You know what? Steelers just pulled an upset this past week.
Yes.
I'm gonna ride the train. I'm just gonna go with them.
Go ahead.
They're the only one that has one mascot on one side of their helmet. I mean, I'm just gonna go with them. It's just different.
You got to. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins just because Tua's back. But
I know Tyreek Hill's gonna ball out. I need him for points. That's all I need from him. But they can still lose.
Right.
I just need Tyreek Hill to be a monster out there.
Monday Night Football, another dinger here. Listen, so that game Sunday Night Football is the Steelers at Miami. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thursday Night Football is New Orleans at Arizona. Monday Night Football is the Bears at the Patriots.
This is a terrible highlight.
The worst prime games. Can we not flex games yet? Is it too early in the season to flex games? Because this Sunday night one for sure. I mean, unless they're just.
I feel like Amazon's a curse. I feel like Amazon should have never picked up any affiliation to do prime time.
Oh, they're having a Black Friday game next year.
To do it.
They're going to have a Black Friday game next year.
Why?
No one's at well, People be shopped. I guess people shop from home now. I don't know. They're gonna have a Black Friday NFL game next year.
Santa's beating them on that. And depending on who the matchup is, maybe
it'll be the Broncos.
Well, in that case, we're going shopping. That case, we're going shopping.
All right, last game, Monday Night Football, the Bears at the Patriots.
That's even horrible too. I can't even pick.
I know. I told you.
I have to go with New England just because they're at home.
I'm gonna go with them too, just because. Who's that quarterback? Zippy?
Yeah.
Hey,
Zippy.
let's roll with it.
Yeah, I don't know. God. It's all bad. This NFL season has been absolutely horrible.
Ridiculous.
Really has.
Stephanie, I totally feel you. Said,
I agree.
Can we get these boring Broncos out there?
I
completely agree.
I don't like the Donkeys anyway. I don't like their colors.
They literally run prime time like every week except for one.
They want
now my game. I understood because you want to see Russell against the old team, but the rest of them, why do we need to see him this much?
Because they want to see Russell. There's 250 million reasons why they want to have him on prime time. Okay, we know what it is. Let's ride, Broncos country.
Let's ride.
I can't stand them. They took over my elite. They took over my stadium. They Raider Nation, y'all should have never have done that. I mean, that was just ridiculous. I don't want to see them. I don't.
All right, y'all. It has been a great show. Thanks again. Oh, you know what? I did have one more thing to share. I think I put it in here. I thought I put it in here. Dang it. I didn't. Oh, I did. Yes. So for all of you that want to join the rally on Saturday at 4 p.m. down at Lloyd George United States Courthouse, this is in regards to the ERA yes vote for question number 1 on the ballot here in Nevada. There will be some speakers, AG Aaron Ford, Assemblywoman Selena Torres. It's for the Nevada, I think it's Nevada Youth. I forgot the actual, But it's going to be a great little thing. I'm supposed to say a few words. We'll see how that goes. Mo, you'll be missed. But yeah.
I think you can say some words. You got a lot to say. I feel like you can speak for both of us.
Got a lot to say.
You got a lot to say.
Hey, so feel free if you're free on Saturday, come on downtown to the United States Courthouse. Come check us out at 4:00. We'll be there. I'll be there.
Support.
Shout out to Sarah Evans,
right?
Big girl and Nevada now, as well as the SCIU. So proud of Sarah and all that she does.
Me
there.
too.
And thanks for always thinking of us. We appreciate you. Anyways, that's it for our show. Yes. Another great Wednesday. Again, thanks to Blair O'Neal. And make sure you follow her. Watch the show on the Golf Channel. We'll be back next week. And hopefully we'll see you then.
Hopefully it'll be a better NFL week. Jeez.
Man, listen, it was just too much. I didn't have a video from Benchwarmers because I don't think he did one because it was so crazy.
It's all about the pick'ems. And I need to win.
Get it, girl.
I need to win. Nordstrom.
All right, y'all. We will catch you next week. See y'all. Subscribe to YouTube, Girl Chat Sports. See ya.